Good afternoon, friends, and welcome. I'll be sharing live trades and results with you. We'll be evaluating how well these trades work out. We'll be benchmarking this against the S&P 500. I'm expecting to be outperforming it every month. Along the way, I'll also be sharing some lessons I've learned about investments, trading, and building wealth. And of course, the mandatory disclaimer. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It should not be interpreted as advice. And with that, let's get into it. Welcome to Trade 28. I want to highlight this one a little bit because it's rather interesting. On our prior trade, we entered the market here and we exited at this point. This is prior to Trade 28. This is an interesting setup because on this kind of exit, what's going to happen the next day, nobody knows. But as you know, if you've been watching the channel for a bit, Adam is looking for a drop in the market. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes the market continues to run and we'll try and get in at another time. But right now, the day before the trade, this is where the market was. The next day, the market had a pretty significant drop. From the top of the candle to the bottom of the candle is about 3%. So we're sitting in cash for roughly 3%. The market falls all the way down to the bottom here. And this looks like a pretty good entry. It's also lower than our prior entry, which we like. And again, for the last month or so here, this has been generally a falling market. Ups and downs along the way, but generally a falling market. This setup is perfect, especially since the market cooperated with us. And we're going to go ahead and take an entry here, and we're going to watch that happen live. So you can see that order going in with the blue line, and it's filled, and we are into trade 28. All right, the next day, the market does not disappoint. The market had an interesting day because I think it went up and down this candle several times throughout the day. But the good news is it finished on an up note, and because we're in a downward market, Adam is going to go ahead and take an exit here. I am going to point out again, this is an interesting exit. It actually took several minutes. I'm probably going to speed up the playback here so you don't have to sit through the play-by-play. But originally I put the price in at 56.66, and boy, the market was just sitting about a penny below that. It wasn't budging. But I wanted to wait that out a little bit to see if it would fill the order with just a penny difference. But unfortunately, you can also see that the market dropped pretty significantly. The price dropped, it ran away from my order a little bit, and then you're faced with the decision. Do I want to chase the price a little bit? Do I want to wait? Went ahead and lowered the price again, and I went ahead and lowered the price to try and meet the order. Again, the market's all over the place. Finally, it dropped to about 56.60. I put my order in at 56.61, hoping for the best, and that order finally filled. And trade 28 is complete. Let's head over to the tracking sheet and see how we're doing. All right, trade 28 completed on August 25th. The S&P 500 on that day, according to Yahoo, closed at 439.95. You saw that the market fell almost 3% from where we exited the day before. But that brings the year-to-date return on the S&P buy and hold strategy to 15.9. We picked up 1.5 points. As you saw in that rather long trade, we actually lost about 0.1% here, just trying to get that order filled. But we picked up about 1.5%, and that brings our year-to-date total to 32.44%. At this point, I think we're a little bit over twice the performance of the S&P 500, so variance of about 16.5%. That's looking pretty good. Winning trades at 79%, and profit factor has come up to about 2.56. I did do some interesting formatting here. I made our prior trades all a little bit smaller just because I was starting to get a little tight on space. But I'm also highlighting the best returns that we had so far year to date. August 25th, even though the market's been falling for about a month, we do have our highest return to date. The prior one before that was in the beginning of the month. So as you probably saw, I mentioned the market's been falling for the month, and that started happening around here. And we were definitely taking some losses. You saw we got down to about 27% or so. But one thing I like about Adam's trading style is even in a falling market, if our trades work out right, like they did on that last one, we do tend to make some gains there. So let's head over to our charts and just see how we're doing. Again, year-to-date returns on the holding buy and hold strategy for the S&P 500 is 15.591. We're looking at a 32.44% year-to-date return. That's all looking good. On our 3-year chart, those numbers are also looking pretty good. The S&P did trade, went up to just trading the S&P 500 straight up. That did go up to 13%, so still trailing behind. But just as a reminder, the reason I'm even having this on this chart, because it is not our main comparison, it's the 32.44. But I'm watching this kind of carefully because if the market tends to take a drop, trading the S&P tends to do pretty well. So last year, year-to-date return was 10.5 in a pretty bad market throughout the year. So if you're wondering why that's on here, that's why it is. I'll continue to trade that sort of behind the scenes. If you do want to see that traded live, leave me a comment and let me know. But for right now, our market returns are 32.44. So, one thing I also want to mention is that, we had a good trade, picked up some gains. That ended up on a Friday. Over the weekend, who knows what's going to happen? The market can continue to run, and we might miss out on some additional gains. That's really unfortunate. But in some ways, it's better to take your gains and take the profit off the table versus the other outcome on Monday could be the market dropping again, and we get another opportunity to go in. It's hard to say. Who knows what's going to happen? The other thing I want to mention too. This is August 25th. One of the worst trading months of the year is typically September. So we're going to have to watch to see what happens with our trading over the next week or so and then into September for that month. But so far, things are looking pretty good. That's it for today. How do you think we're doing? Please comment below and let me know how this compares to other investments you've seen. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only and should not be taken or interpreted as advice. Until next time.